10까지 내가 막 주절주절 떠들면은 somebody 기호제 you have to raise your hands, okay? Just give me a hint. 그런데 제가 오늘 할 얘기는 별거 없고 my life story 조금 얘기를 하고 그 다음에 the things that I realized while I carries my business was the most important things in life and business. 그래서 조금이라도 여러분의 라이프에 조금 도움이 됐으면 좋겠습니다. 나는 한 43년 전에 1983에 캐나다에 왔어요. Anybody born in around 1980? Raise your hands. Nobody. 오케이, 우리 전도사님밖에 없어. 오케이, 1990? 1990? Oh my gosh, you guys are so young chicken. 2000? Okay, 2. And then 2010? Okay, nobody. Okay, I born in 1962. So my age is 64 years old right now, and the people think over 60는 senior라 그러잖아. I never thought myself as a senior. To tell you the truth, and I'm not afraid to getting older. 왜냐하면 나는 always life is here and now. 그러니까 항상 현재에 나는 포커스를 하기 때문에 I don't look back, I only look forward. That's my trait. 나는 리얼터고 그다음에 나는 1983에서 I attended a school, University of Western Ontario. I majored social work. In Korea, back in Korea, I used to be a school teacher, elementary school teacher. I graduated Seoul National Teachers College. The reason I went to Teachers College is my background was very poor because I lost my father when I was 15. 그래서 아줌마가 본인 리치로 태어났지만은 ever since my father died, we lost all the business he had it, very successful business 해가지고 in high school I couldn't pay my tuition in time. Can you believe it? Here Canada tuition이 없잖아요. 그런데 하이스쿨 다닐 때는 because 우리 오빠하고 언니가 대학을 가기 때문에 나는 등록금을 낼 돈이 없었어. 그래서 I was always behind였어. 그러면은 when I was grade 15, I can't remember grade 15, my father died, and for 1 year I was mourning. I miss my father so much. 왜냐면 내가 아빠한테는 apple in the eye였어요. 그리고 I wanted to be a writer. 아줌마는 리터리처를 좋아하고 라이딩을 좋아하고 라이딩 컨테스트에 나가면 내가 항상 1등을 하고 그랬는데 for 1 year while I was mourning my dad, I wanted to be a nun. I used to be a Catholic, right? So I wanted to be a nun. So I gave up my study. But I usually did very well within about 5% in class, right? And 그 다음에 고등학교 1학년 윈터 타임에 I didn't have nothing to do야. 너무나 돈이 없고 I don't have money to hang out with my friends. 그래서 할 일이 없다가 어느 날 내가 책을 봤어요. 무슨 책을 봤냐? 영어 책. 오케이, 영어 책을 이렇게 읽다 보니까 교과서 있잖아. 그걸 이렇게 읽다 보니 너무 재밌어. 그래서 외워버렸어. From first page till the very last page 나는 다 외워버렸어. 재밌어? 왜냐면 내가 랭귀지를 좋아해서. 그 다음에 절만을 우리 그때 나는 절만을 배웠거든. 이제 절만을 읽었더니 그때 그거를 다 외워버렸어. 그러니까 지금은 내가 알고 기억하는 거는 구텐 타크, 구텐 모닝, 요거밖에 아프비드젠 이거밖에 없지만은 나는 그거를 다 외워버렸어. 그래, 재밌어. 그러면 영어 책도 다 외우고 저것도 다 외우고 뭐를 해야 돼? 수학 1의 정석. I don't know you guys know, but in Korea there is one really big book about the mathematics, right? mathematics를 또 처음부터 끝까지 2번을 풀었어. 내가 밥을 먹고 잠을 못 잤어요. 너무 재밌어가지고. 이거는 뭐 친구고 뭐고 아무것도 없어. 그래서 방학 동안에 2달 동안 공부하고 나서 그 다음에 그러니까 second year in my high school, I used to be ranked around 5 to 8, right? 저기 60명이 있었어. 60명에서 5번째나 8번째 뭐 5등, 못하면 8등 이렇게 했는데 내가 전체에서 세컨을 한 거예요. 1점 차이로. 그래가지고 우리 담임 선생님이, 그러니까 he knows I don't have any money. 그러니까 와가지고 은희는, 내 이름이 은희니까 은희는 서울대를 가라, 공부를 조금 해서. 왜냐하면 서울대를 가게 되면은 등록금이 필요 없고 돈을 받고 장학금 스칼라십을 받고 공부를 하는데 어쩌고 저쩌고 했는데 anyway I didn't think about that hard. 그래서 공부를 하고 이렇게 했는데 3학년 때 돼가지고 I gave up. Why? Because I was in depression. Can you imagine? You can see now my 모습을 이렇게 보거나 내가 고3 때 deep depression이 왔어요. 그런데 내가 하나도 패스하지 않은 거는 나는 묵주신공을 everyday 했어. 묵주신공. 그 다음에 I attended the Catholic Church every day. But you know what? Now I look back, I was in depression. 그래서 고3 때는 내가 성당만 다니고 그 다음에 또 이 기도만 하고 그다음 공부를 하나도 안 했어. 그래서 우리 선생님이 나는 이제 수녀원에 간다. 넌 I wanted to be a nun. 그랬는데 우리 담임 선생님이 나를 푸시를 해서 티처스 칼리지 가서 티처를 했는데 I didn't want to be a teacher. Okay. Why am I telling you this story? My story. Life never gonna promise you anything. There gonna be ups and down, unexpectedly. You can't expect it. You can't plan your own life. Only God plans your life. 그럼 내가 디프레션에 있고 up and down 했을 때 there wasn't any God, there wasn't any Jesus helping hands. No. I learned a lot from the poverty. I learned a lot from the things that I couldn't cherish, right? So I learned a lot. I learned how other people feel if they don't have any means in their life. You know what I mean? You can't have everything in your life. You have to be prepared when there's gonna be poverty in your life, when there's gonna be success in your life. Your attitude has to be same. This is my word today. Your attitude never can be changed. Why? You have to be humble. You know, there's always ups and downs. My attitude was I was very contented when I was down. I'm also very careful when I'm high, right? Many people think I'm top realtor. Sure, I'm top realtor. I didn't mean to be. I didn't meant to be. When I was becoming a realtor, I was 45. Why did you become a realtor? You guys can ask. The reason is I always dreamed about having nursing home, and my cafe business was very successful, right? And then I thought about franchise even before. You know, Starbucks are run as a company, run by company, but I planned franchise. So I was gonna do my cafe business into franchise, and then if I sell the franchise that time, you know, the how can I say, the asking price could be 300,000, and I can spend only 100,000. Every stores I can make 200,000 plus. I can get royalty. That's why I become a realtor to check it out those spot. My mistake, what's my mistake was I stayed in the residential business because I wanted to be a commercial realtor to check it out, all those locations. Then, you know, I become so busy on my very first month. I sold 6 houses in my first month. Do I know anybody? No. I'm going to tell you the secret, how I could sell six houses on my very first month. I sold 65 homes in first year. How? Well, I didn't expect that I was that busy. I had to give up my cafe business because I always enjoyed being at the cafe to serve people and, you know, making coffees. And you know what? I love those bakery smells. Then, you know, my job suddenly got changed. It's supposed to be a secondary job, but it couldn't be. Why? Because my trait is once I focus on this, okay, if I love this guy, I can look for another guy. That is my trait. Once I concentrate on one thing, my eyes always focused there. So the next day, I become a realtor. I didn't go to my cafe. I buried my life serving coffee, 24. Out of 24, I slept about 6 hours, and then I worked. You know, I'm a workaholic. Everybody who knows I'm a workaholic. Anyway, what I was gonna tell you, that's why I become a realtor. But ever since I become a realtor, people think, oh, Emily, you make so much money. Yes, I made the money, but you know what? If you make any money, there's always a compensation. You have to compensate. Nothing comes for free. You have to sacrifice your personal life. You have to sacrifice your sleeping time. You have to sacrifice your hobbies. My hobby was going, hiking, right? And doing some sewings, and I have to give up. And I have to give up times, nice time, good times, going out with my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law and my father-in-law, I took them out all the time, but ever since I become a realtor, I become a lonely bird, sitting at home. 그래서 내가 얘기를 하고 싶은 거는 우리가 성공을 하기 위해서는 항상 뭔가를 sacrifice를 해야 되는데 is it worth? Is it worth? I don't think it worth. So over the years, I become, for 20 years, I've been in this business for 20 years. I look back, I was Rookie of the Year, I was a medallion member, now I'm Emerald Medallion member. I got so many realtors, Emily, I want to learn from you. What do you want to learn? Right? Nothing to teach you, because I don't know why I get to hear. People think you are very successful, but I don't know the reason. But, my managing broker used to be, say, Emily, nobody can replace you. Even if I leave the team, I'm gonna have this guy inherit my, position and and they can run the business. And my managing broker used to be in Sutton. He said, nobody can do it. This is personal business. Okay, now I look back, you're gonna ask, what makes you up here? Okay, before I tell you, am I happy being here or not? That's gonna be at the last. But you know what? What makes you up here? I feel all those bad experiences, you guys can call it bad experience, but that experience made me to feel for other people's need. In social work, when I studied, it calls empathy. It's not sympathy, because I'm not sympathized with you, but it's called empathy. Empathy means, in the Bible, what does it say? Do unto others as you want them to do to you, right? So empathy means you feel for Jose. If Jose wants this kind of, Jose is my friend, okay. You do think about him, then what if I were Jose? What does he need? You have to think of those kind of first. So in business, you always follow in the Bible, then you're never gonna go wrong. You have to, love one another. That's empathy. You have to think others' need at first. You feel your mother sometimes bothers you, okay, nagging at you, don't play games anymore, blah, 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 blah. But you know what? Think about that. You become a father. Do you want to have a child like you? You sure? Okay. Your mom says, okay, I need your help. Mom, I'm busy, right? How many of you not did that, right? And then, what if you were a father, you were a mother, and that you want to have that kind of a child? Okay, right? I lived with my mother-in-law for 43 years. I keep telling to everybody, that doesn't mean, oh, Emily, you are a special person. No. But for those 43 years, I thought I lost my life. Sure, I lost my taste decorating my home, because when you guys come to my home, it looked like, really oldies, like 한국의 시골 같은 그런 home setting. because I love to decorate in modern style, but I could never do it for 43 years. And she's got some special personality that you have to pay attention. You know what it is, though? All those 43 years, I have ups and downs emotionally, financially, or whatever, and good times and bad times. And I thought I blame others. Why? Why me? Because my husband is second child, second son, not even first son. Why me? I keep crying. At the church one day, and it hit my head. Why not? Why not? Why? Jesus was on the cross. He carried the cross for you. And why not carrying my cross that Jesus had given you? Okay? So you know what? Many crosses, okay, I don't want to do it. You pray, you serve the morning service, afternoon service, whatever, blah, 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 and cross. We often deny our cross. What's going to happen when you grow up? There are going to be too many cross. Your wife going to be your cross, okay? Your kids can be your cross. Your work can be your cross. And then what? Your friend can be your cross. Should I carry them? Yes, you do. Because God never forget. Whatever you do for others, you feel like it's in vain. It's never gonna be going into in vain. The thing is, in the Bible, it says, "Throw your food into the river." Then who's gonna eat? Anybody know the answer? Your kids gonna eat the food. If you do good things in your business or while you are living, right, in your life, then you feel like, oh, I did it for nothing. I just wasted my energy, my time, and my money, and oh my gosh, she betrays me, he betrays me, blah, 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 blah. But it's not gonna be in vain. Your every moment gonna be an experience that gets you up to the successful, right? I'm gonna tell you one example. When I started a realtor, many people think I'm the 30 realtor, right? 30 realtor. Actually, I started Cloverdale, Langley, and downtown. I'm downtown specialist, actually. Many people that time want to get the condos in downtown, so I go downtown. Sometimes I go to UBC, often, right? And that time the buyers just use me because they know I'm good at finding homes. So uses me, but they go at the end, if I say this is a good home, they go to their friends to get the contract done, to give the money to their friends. So I've been used many times, and I noticed later, oh my God, I've been cheated. I've been used, whatever, right? I had experienced many of those, but am I disappointed at that time? I wasn't disappointed. Why? I often experienced right after that incident, I didn't blame her, I didn't blame them, anything else, just that I learned. This was my attitude. And then the next time I had listings, very good listings in the neighborhood. So somebody call. This is how realtors work. Somebody call, okay, I live in blah, 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 this address. Oh, then I say, and you know what she says? Oh, you working only in 30? I said, no. I know your neighborhood, the schools nearby, or across your house. There's a park, blah, 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 blah. I could explain whole neighborhood, which I never knew before I go around with this, like the buyers who didn't make a deal with me, right? So you know what? Nothing you're gonna lose. So every experience you're gonna get up there. You know what? Actually, I was thinking about many things, but I'm gonna tell you what you have to do while you are growing up is you have to be diligent. Okay, in the Bible it says, "You wicked, lazy servant," right? Jesus doesn't say, "You lazy servant." He said, wicked, lazy servant. You know what? You can sleep in one day, but you cannot sleep in 7 days a week. Okay? Starting next month, I'm going to do this. No, you have to get up now. If you cannot do now, you cannot do in 10 years later, 20 years later, 30 years later. You're going to be sitting in the bed, and your baby going to be crying for a milk, and your wife going to leave you. So many guys here. That's why I feel sorry. But you know what? You have to act now. I'm always telling you, life is here and now. It's not tomorrow. There's not tomorrow. There's not day after. If you think the pastor today, his sermon is once you get Holy Spirit coming into you to work, then you have to get up. That's what his sermon. It's my idea as well. You have to move right now. Okay, if I want to learn about this chapter, like chapter 1 to chapter 10, I'm gonna finish it within this week. Okay, if you start tonight, you can. I'm not blaming you. If you finish only one chapter within a week, that's good things. You don't have to finish whole 10 chapters. You can just start. Okay? You can go slowly, but you have to start. That's how it is. So our job is a very stressful job. I don't want anybody to be a realtor. To tell you the truth, the reason is you have to make sure in the Bible, everybody was born with sin. That is very true. While I was working, I learned, not many people are perfect, including me. You don't expect anybody be nice to you. You look like, 다람이's, 다함이지. Daham is nice at the church, but that doesn't mean he's 100% nice. Okay? Anybody can betray you. You have to explain. Expect that, but don't get disappointed because our appearance, our attitude towards the Lord is the same. So you have to start with the idea people are not good enough to anybody, including us, right? So don't expect too much to your friends. Okay, he's gonna give me $20 gift on my birthday. Okay, he's not giving you anything. Don't get disappointed. My motto is don't get disappointed. I don't get disappointed with anybody, anything. If anybody betrays you, no. Because I expect when people purchase a home from me, if they don't complain, I regard a good person. If they buy me a coffee, okay, excellent person, right? They buy me a dinner, oh my God, they are God. You know what I mean? You gotta your standard should be starting that way, okay? If he's complaining, oh, you're bad, whatever, PI, whatever, right? Oh, you can't do that. Everybody is the same. We start at the same line. As soon as you are born, I just become grandma, right? 하연's grandma. So anyway, as soon as you are born, you know what? Everybody started to be degrading in terms of their genuinity and in terms of their personality. You know what? We are born like that. That's why we have to forgive one another. We have to understand one another's weakness there. Got it? Okay. I just wrote it down because I intended, is it half an hour yet? Okay, due diligence means you have to do your best for your clients. In the course of your business, carrying your business, you have to be very, how can I say, lots of responsibility. One of the responsibility you have to do it is honesty, being honest. You can make a mistake. Anybody can make a mistake, right? But the most important thing is, as soon as you make a mistake, you realize, don't try to hide it. Not even from your mom or dad or your friends, your girlfriends or whatever. I make a mistake. Okay, I'm so sorry. You just blurt it out. Once you say sorry, it left you already. You know, even if that person accepts your apologies or not accepting your apology, it doesn't matter. Once you say, okay, I made a mistake while I do, you know, doing this work, as soon as you realize, oh, I did something wrong, you apologize them, okay? And the result, you don't have to worry about that. You know, even if you go to jail, I hit somebody, okay, I made a mistake, you go to jail, okay? That is not the end of the life. The end of life is don't recognize it. That's very, you know what, a dangerous things. And then don't recognize it and deny it. The worst thing is denying it. So as soon as you make it, I'm sorry, you know. And you know what, especially when you meet new girls, right, girlfriends, that's very important. If she said, oh, I'm sorry, okay, this should give you a lot of relief, okay, in the future. Okay, and then there's a lot of due diligence, you know, in our business. But you know, while you are doing it, while if you work for somebody, you have to do something extra. If you are hired by a company, you know what? Oh, I only get paid $20, $30 per hour. Why should I clean the dishes, right? But you can have broader eyes, you know, cleaning dishes. It gets you to somewhere. You know, that cleaning dishes, someday you're going to be the owner of a restaurant, which is very, you have to know everything from A to Z. So even if you want to be something, like you want to be a taxi driver, you can own the taxi company. Think that way. You know, when I first come here, my husband's family owned a grocery store, right? And very small ones. It was very hard to make ends meet. Like, see, if you make $1,500 per month, okay? If we made it 1,500 is short for the next month. I thought, oh my God, this is, you know, I left my home, which is not rich, and then I come for worst situation here, right? Anyway, you know what happened is, when you, what I was gonna tell you, I forgot. Oh. Anyway, you know what? You have to work really, really hard, and then you have to make plans in your life. Due diligence and making plans. Which plans? Even if I do this work, my life can be better, and that will make your plan better. Okay, when I do cashier, I know what I want. When you do cashier, I, you know, counted, I sell, you know, gums and candies to the customers, and then I thought myself, Lord, I used to be a good student. Why am I selling, you know, $1 candy and you know 1 cent candies to these kids? And you know what? My grace is enough for you. So whatever you do, even you clean the floor, whatever you do, you have to be very grateful for the work that you are doing, and you gotta do extra work for somebody, then it gets you to the success. Okay, and also you have to be reliable. Like you know, if you are in one profession like a realtor, being a realtor as me, like you have to know everything. You study hard. You gotta do, you know, going to seminars. If you are short, then you have to go to specialists to get additional knowledge from them. And you know, actually, on the very first times, the first days when I become a realtor, I only slept for 2 hours. You cannot believe it, right? 2 hours because I was too busy. If anybody want me to find a house in the west of Vancouver, I don't know about west of Vancouver, right? And so the traffic was awful in the morning, so I left home at 4 o'clock in the morning to check it out the houses I was gonna show, because I don't wanna make a mistake. That time we didn't have any GPS, so I had to use the map. Not Google Map, you know, the map. I had so many maps in my car. So you know what? I'm not good at finding homes that time. So I have to go at 4 o'clock. So I studied the words of school and you know, everything I studied, and I come back to pick up my clients. Okay, this is the difference I did with other Asians. And if I sell the condos, like some project, I went there in advance. So I check everything. I checked another project. You have to do all the studies, and then you give it right products to your clients. And you know what? Never ever make mistakes about explaining the products, right? When I was in school, I came here in 1983. So I studied a general study in the University of Western Ontario. I took a TOEFL. That time it was TOEFL, and I studied the general studies, five subjects. So I was an immigrant at that time, 14 students, and then my husband said we have to be immigrant here. To be immigrant, Canadian immigrant, you have to be a social worker, which they give you 10 points out of 10 points. So I said, I don't want to be studying social work because it takes a lot of efforts studying English, and I didn't know anything, right? Well, I knew, but not as good as university levels anyway. So what I did was I went into the social work class, like not enrolling the class. So I went into that, and I took one class, and then you know what? I couldn't understand what the professor says. It doesn't come to my ear. It didn't come to my ear, not a word. So I went to the library. I cried for an hour. Lord, I cannot do this. So what should I do? My husband want me to do this. So if I do science, I could do it, but you know what, science, you cannot get it, because even if you have a good mark, you cannot be a doctor. You cannot go to pharmacist course. You cannot do anything. So, for social science, you can be a social worker. That's the highest mark, to become an immigrant, right? And then what happened was, I studied, I cried for an hour, and the Lord said, all of a sudden, I have something into my heart. You can do it. So I never cried after. So I just did it, and with somebody's help up there, you know what? The students come around me and say, Emily, we want to do study group. So I said, you are 19, I'm 23. 24 or 23, and then I'm kind of older, and I was pregnant. You know what? She helped me for the first day of note. Like, I borrowed her note, and I studied. And you know what? From the next class, all of a sudden, the professor's word coming to my ears, my thought. So I understand 100%. Later, they borrowed my note. Can you believe it? This is a miracle. You know what? I didn't even measure English. I measured, like teaching courses. And then, all of a sudden, all the subjects coming to my head, so I could study. They even come for answer, And then, what happened was, there's a 5 subject, and I also looking for some kind of substitute subject, which I didn't have many choices because of media. Then I have to go up from front and, present in English. Then I wasn't sure, right? So I took a philosophy, and then that was my last choice. And the book was like this. Oh my God! And the philosophy, the English wording is more harder. I couldn't even understand. So I called my friend in Korea. Can you send me the philosophy in general, So I read the whole books in Korean, and then my understanding gets better. It gets me into my head. And what happened was, I memorized. Like Plato, Socrates, and all those. They have this chapter. I try to memorize and get the point out of it. And then, I got B+ in that. So the professor called me, your grammar is awful. He said, your grammar is awful, but your genuine heart understanding is good, so I give you B+. The reason is I approach in different way. Most students, they say like this, starting with Socrates is this, but I did it the other way. Why Socrates is different than Plato? Because Plato and other, the philosophers. So I go like this. So this is kind of a hint. When you go to the university, you can probably get little more mark. I don't know, but this system now, mark doing opposite way than other students. I would call it uniqueness. You have to be unique. Okay, whatever you do in your business, you have to be unique. My uniqueness is I did a big advertise on the newspaper on my very first day. And it cost me, I can remember, $800. It was big money that time. But I did the whole page. I told my husband, I'm not going to buy any clothes. I'm going to spend the money on this big advertisement. It was a big expenses that time. And I made my own catchphrase. Let's become rich together. So it was a kind of a sensation, And then, anyway, it's not that success is important, but you have to concentrate on what you are doing with all your heart. And even if that subject is not your own, you have to really like it. Okay? It's very important that you find your subject, your job that you like. That's the best choice. But if you didn't have those choices, you have to do something else, then you have to get to like it. This is my idea. I never want to be a realtor. If I born again, I wouldn't be. You guys gonna be laughing why Emily is saying that. But there's some reasons I can tell you later. Okay. This is what I can tell you. And also, I'm going to tell you the importance of getting dressed. TPO. Okay? So you don't have to be dressed well, but you don't have to, you have to dress, I would say, moderately. TPO. Right? Time, what's P? Place. And what's O? Occasion. I was gonna wear jeans today and with the black shirts like this. I wanted to be like Steve Jobs to talk to you, but my jeans getting too small, so I couldn't wear. So that's why I changed my pants this morning. But you know what? Some kind of a uniqueness you can show off from the your wear, right? You don't have to wear expensive stuff. Sometimes, you know what? You get to give a wrong impression to employer or your clients that if you are dressed too fancy. My client, who is very short, I know she is short. You know what? I don't wear high heels when I go there. If my clients coming from low-income family, what do I wear? I wear 20 years ago, the pants I bought 20 years ago. My clients who is super rich, I wear nice clothes from Winners. Yeah, Winners, that's the best place to shop. Okay, and you have to be very careful in your appearance. Like you don't have to be super pretty, but you have to be tidy. Whatever you do. 한국말에 이런 말이 있어. 깨끗하고 예쁜 거지가 더 많이 얻어먹는다야. 거지가 뭐야? 백어잖아. 거지 supposed to be 막 더러워야 되는데 예쁜 거지가 더 얻어먹는다. 그래서 나는 일을 할 때 항상 그거를 생각을 했었어. 옷을. 오늘은 무엇을 입을까? Okay, in my wardrobe, I don't have no fancy stuff. $29, $39, but you have to study about being dressed, right? That's very important. 호재는 참 잘 입었어. Okay, I had so many things. Okay, one more thing I want to tell you. In your life or in your workplace, don't blame any other people. Okay, if you lost, some jobs, or if you do anything wrong in your job while you are doing work, if you get scolded by your coworkers or your boss, don't blame nobody. including yourself. I said, but you know what? Not but you. Don't blame yourself. You meant to be making mistake. That's all the mistake. I believe God made our road all the way to I die, till I die. Your life is already cookie cutter. You guys don't know. You guys think you are too young and you feel like, oh, I'm gonna be living this way, that way, that way. No, I believe God already set up your life. Your life is already get there, and then why then we have to try? God already give me certain kind of life given to us. Why should we try? You have to try to become like Jesus. Jesus, okay? You are little Jesus because Jesus loves you, and I want to be like Jesus. Why? Should I impress somebody? Do I have to impress somebody? Just being nice? No. You don't have to impress anybody. They get impressed if you are somebody. You don't have to be somebody to get impressed somebody else. You get, they are getting impressed. It's just that you do your best. You do your best at your work, at home, or at your school. Then you know what? You are living Jesus. Walking in Jesus. Okay? Not just at the church. Okay, I'm gonna, you know what? I didn't prepare too much. Like 한국말로 하려고 그랬는데 영어로 하게 돼서 I couldn't express too much. But when I see you guys' face, I feel like I have to do it in English. Any questions? Any questions? 고민 있어? Q&A 때 what time is it now? 3:17, almost half an hour. Okay. 물어볼 거는 뭐가 있어요? 그리고 내가 요즘에 느끼는 건데 don't follow anybody else's dream. You know what that means is 우리는 엄마가 아유 의사였으면 좋겠다. 너는 딱 가닥지가 의사야. 너는 딱 변호사였으면 좋겠다. 너는 참 진짜 말을 잘해. 아이고 너 회계사 할래? 돈 많이 버는 직업이 뭐지? 야 컴퓨터 사이언스 어쩌고 저쩌고. No. 왜 그러냐면은 okay, I'm gonna give you one instance. My own experience. My daughter, Esther was a super good student at school. She was okay. This is a secret. She was a very shy child when she was in elementary school이었는데 high school 가더니 all of a sudden her face is bright up. So I said, what's going on? And she said, Mom, I love to study. It's so fun. So I said, you know what? You're like Mom. I had fun when I was in high school, right? It's just a study. And then, she studied very well, all slow, so she became Governor General Award recipient. And then she went to UBC, and she graduated English literature as with the Dean's Analyst. Then she asked me one day, Mom, what should I do? Should I be a teacher or should I do law? And I said, be a teacher because you're going to have a 3 months vacation, right? Being a teacher. You don't need to make money. You just find a husband who's making good money, right? Why are you working so hard? Okay, and she was thinking for a whole week, and she said, Mom, I'm going to go to law school. So she went to U of T Law School. So I went there. And then, you know what, the dormitory was awful, like prison, and I cried on the way coming back. Oh my God, why she has to go all the way to Toronto? And then while she was there, after she graduated, she came to Vancouver. She did articling for 1 year at the law firm, and she became tax lawyer after. She went to Supreme Court. She got hired by Supreme Court in Canada, in Ottawa. So she was there as a junior. Then the judges want her to stay. She was good at writing, so her writing, she's writing all the what is 그 판결문은 뭐라 그러지? What's 판결문? 이렇게 판결하는 거 있잖아. 그 sentence하고 뭐 이러는 거 있잖아. 그런 거를 the judges use her writing. Anyway, while she was doing that, she's a workaholic. So she went to York School, master's degree for tax, tax lawyer, master degree. So she got tax lawyer. She got master's degree. She come here as a Norton Rose lawyer. So when I went to her office, it was very lavish office. And she got her own secretary and looking 360 degrees Vancouver. And we are so proud. Oh my God, there's a lot of things to eat, snacks and everything, right? It's fancy. And then after 2 years, she said, Mom, I want to quit. So I said, why you want to quit? So I was kind of glad because she was stressed out by that time. She said, Mom, I imagine myself 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road, many lawyers are alcoholic and stressful. And she once went to a counselor and check with the counselor, see, to relieve her stress. And the counselor doesn't know anything about her job characteristics. So she said, Mom, I want to be a counselor because I want to help people who has a stress or whatever. Blah, 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 blah. She had a 7 years education in Toronto, right? All of education. My husband said, so disappointed. Esther, hang in there. But I knew as a top realtor, I knew how stressful you carry your job and it's gonna killing you. And so I told Esther, Mom is glad you changed your career. So she went to Trinity Western for another master's degree for counseling, and I told her, you're a professional student. She's very good at school. And then the professor wanted her to be left there to a PhD to become a professor. And she said, no, I want to work in the field. She has her own company now. She went to some organization to work as a practicum, and then she opened up her own company. She can have as many clients as she wants, but she doesn't want to take too many to concentrate on her own good clients, right? And she only charges about 130 to 150. If you guys have a stress, you can call Esther. But you know what? The thing is here, many people say, oh, my daughter's a lawyer, my son is a doctor, That doesn't make you happy. You know what I mean? So, nowadays, what I study, what I see, what I experience is something that you really like hanging there. And you know what? Even the chef become like this, right? Everybody's eating and they have a glamorous business, right? Chef, Michelin chef, whatever. You can be a chef. You can be like, I'm really envious of Jose, plumber. Nobody can replace plumber, even AI. Right? You think about not just for the money, what am I really liking it? My older daughter, Mary Jane, she want to be a makeup artist. She had a very good mark at the high school. So she said, Mom, I want to be a makeup artist. Oh my gosh, I never heard of makeup artist. So anyway, my husband said, you should take a makeup service, not doing it. Because, we are 1983 person, and we are so behind, so old-fashioned that we didn't know. I'm very regretful now. If she become a makeup artist doing YouTube, she was trying to do YouTube at that time. We said, why you are on the phone so long? Just like your father. If you like games, do it. Okay? You know what? So now I'm very regretful for my Mary Jane. Her wish was makeup and fashions like this, right? And then if she were in the business, she's going to be excel. And then, you know what? My son-in-law, Jeff, Esther's husband is Jeff. I asked his father, what did Jeff do when he was young? Playing games? Okay. Did he study hard? No, playing games. Okay, you know what he does now? He owns he's a sound designer. He owns a music company, which he supplies music to Nintendo, Zelda. He made Zelda, actually. Yeah, he made, not game, but music. He supplied the music to Zelda. So he is one of the big guy in the, as a music, designer. So I never heard the music then. I asked him, when I first met him, what do you do for living? I make music. So, oh, you are a musician, like, like this. And I said, okay. And then he said that he makes a game music. The reason his father said, I said, what did you tell him when he was doing playing game all day? Said, just leave it. I loved, just leave it as he does like it. So just, you know what? I think he's better than me. Like, see, that kind of things. If you like one thing, stick to it. Okay? Even if your mom nags you and don't do it, don't do this, don't do that. But you know what? Usually genius do something against the parents, right? Okay. Any questions? Are you guys, do you understand my English? Okay, good. Okay. I never think myself old, right? Old. As you see, I look younger than 64, right? Age doesn't bother you, So you guys don't believe me, but I feel like I can do things. I still have dreams. I'm always thinking about modifying my business, thinking about 5 years. Within 5 years, I have a plans. Another 5 years, I'm gonna have another plans. Every 5 years, I have a plans, and this year I have my own plans as well. So your life is all yours, nobody else's. So like you have to concentrate, you have to start to do that, make your life beautiful and glorious. Glorious means you have to feel, oh, I myself are glorious, not other people's. Don't worry about other people's, what they are looking for you. No. And appearance, don't worry about it. Don't compare other people with other people, okay? Okay, he's, okay, like Wonbin, okay, Wonbin is old guys, like Jungkook at the BTS, right? Jungkook in BTS. Oh my God, he sings really good, nice looking. Why I don't have a face like Jungkook? Don't worry about it, I have my face, okay? My unique face. So, feel yourself, don't lose any dreams. If you have dreams, you know what? Just go for it. Someday you're gonna get there. And also, why my parents are so poor? Why his parents are giving him a car, and while I don't even have a bus money. Don't do it. You know what? Don't compare. The reason is, everything happens for the best for you. If you are hungry now, you're gonna be probably do diet in later of your life, right? Think about that. Always being positive. That is me. I'm very positive person. Nothing can drag me down, because I always think, what if Jesus were me? Whenever you make a decision, are you going to be disappointed or no? You know what I mean? Because you have Jesus in you, you have his power in you, you have his wisdom in you. Okay? No question? Okay, thank you.
네, 귀한 시간 주신 에밀리오 집사님께 감사하고, 네, 집사님 이야기 저 들어봤는데, 저 이런 이 스토리가 있으신지 몰랐어요. 예, 네, 전혀 몰랐어요. 네, 집사님의 이야기와 정말로 좋은 시간이었던 걸 감사하고, 집사님의 이야기와 테스티모니를 통해서 우리가 많은 시간들을, 많은 것들을 함께했습니다. Through her story and testimony, she shows a God who with her and with us. Okay, so her God is our God, as you know that. So let's talk about her story and testimony. If you have any question, you follow her and ask about that. You're curious about that one. So 우리는 정말로 집사님을 통해서 많은